With that said, it's very safe to say that they are not the same. Hello, champions. Today we're going to take a look at the difference between PostgreSQL versus Supabase SQL, because a lot of AI influencers are using it interchangeably and they kind of get it wrong sometimes. So I want to show what the difference is. Before we go over here, I just wanted to show why we are creating this video. I'm creating this series on local n8n and databases. So we started with Oracle, honestly, but we did local Olama setup, we did Pinecone setup, we did rack systems, which is local. Now I want to do the rack systems on cloud and local using Postgres and Supabase, because that's the most widely used databases. But before that, I tried to do some research and I realized that both are not the same. And that's what we are going to try and demystify today. We are going to check the difference focusing on n8n, because that's where we are going to use both of these databases. So the confusion is real. Why? If you go to YouTube and just look for n8n plus Supabase, that's what I did. And if you see the just look at the thumbnails. People are using it for memory as well as Supabase. They're using it interchangeably, saying that it's this. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just randomly looking. Even Nate's video has that, and they must have a reason to do that. However, a lot of AI influencers they're using it together, right? Saying that this is Supabase, but it's actually not, and we need to make sure that we understand that, because there are a lot of differences, and that's what we're going to look today. So what's the confusion? Let's try to find out, right? We just check YouTube, you can check Twitter, anywhere, any of the social medias, people are using it interchangeably. Just use Postgres, they say, while showing Supabase dashboards, and they are exactly, using it interchangeably, which is not the right thing. There are subtle differences between both, and architecturally they are very, very different. It can cost a lot of headache in the long run if you choose the wrong platform. And with that said, it's very safe to say that they are not the same. They're absolutely not the same. So what is PostgreSQL, right? It's a database engine. What is a database? Where you store data in a table format, right? Rows and columns. It is an open source relational database management system. What is a database management system? It means that you'll have creation, deletion, management, backups, everything into one system, and that's why it is called as a database management system. It's an open source databases that a lot of companies use in comparison to Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, because all of these other ones are paid, but this one is not. Postgres is a self-managed database. It means right from the installation on your own machine, whether it's your desktop, laptop, or an AWS cloud, any of the cloud servers, VPS, you manage the entire security, the reliability, backups, scaling, performance tuning. All of these decisions are yours, because you have direct access to your PostgreSQL database. You have complete queries, complete control over your queries. You have complete control over the stored procedures. You have complete control over the custom functions that you can build on top of it, and they are super fast because you have direct control over the database. So when to use Postgres? When you need maximum performance, because you want direct control, direct access, and you want the fastest possible latency, lowest latency, basically fastest response time. That's when you use Postgres database. Let's find out what is Supabase. Supabase is a service which is built on top of PostgreSQL, right? So Postgres database, all its functionality, we have put a wrapper around it, and we call it Supabase. It is for modern applications that we use. Supabase is a managed platform. What does a managed means? It means that it's completely opposite than self-managed. All your hosting, backup, scaling, security, performance, patches, everything is handled by a third-party provider like Supabase itself, supabase.com, right? On top of that, not only it has everything taken care of you, it also has dashboard, it has authentication system, which is auth. So if your website needs auth, It has a built-in capability for that. That's why people use Supabase for authentication, and it's also used for storing tables or user data. It also has API calls. It means that you can connect with the platforms like n8n, right? And that's why it makes it more, ready for the modern platforms, just like n8n or AI agents. And on top of that, you don't have to manage, you don't have to install it. However, you get subscription-based pricing, so that even if you don't know anything about it, you can start using Supabase right away. So at the core, you're still getting Postgres, and that's where the confusion comes, because AI influencers are using it interchangeably, right? They're using PostgreSQL, they're calling it Supabase, and vice versa. However, PostgreSQL, the core is still that. At the heart, it's still PostgreSQL. We get all the database power, all right, that we need. However, we get the added advantage of REST APIs like our GET, POST, and API calls, GraphQL endpoints, which helps to connect with modern platform. It also helps with rapid deployment. What do we mean by that? Because as we talked about, it has user authentication. On top of table level security, database and schema level security, it has something called as RLS, which is row level security. You can not only you control who gets access to the tables, maybe your application, maybe an API call, you also have granular control on the rows. Each row has its own security, which makes it super powerful, and that is the flexibility that you get with Supabase, which is not there with Postgres. APIs are generated automatically and in real time. That's why you can connect to it directly and faster than Postgres. So we can start developing and connecting to Supabase, just like Lovable directly connects to Supabase, and start developing these apps or building these apps which are ready to go, rather than setting up the entire PostgreSQL database. So let's find out what are the differences. We'll take a brief look at them. It will help us understand what are the differences. It will help you understand what are the differences. So first is setup. As we said, this is a self-managed platform, which is PostgreSQL. We have to do everything on it. Supabase, it's just sign up and start using it, right? It's a managed platform. It's not a self-managed, it's a managed platform managed by somebody else. Authentication, we will have to set up custom custom authentication using JWT and sessions and stuff, and you need to be super hardcore developer for doing that. Even I'm not that. However, it's Supabase, it's built in. You can start using it as soon as possible using magic links. APIs, both of them support APIs and all, but we'll have to build APIs on Postgres. However, Supabase, it is auto-generated REST APIs and GraphQLs. We can start using it as soon as we do a sign up on that. Next is real time. Because we are getting direct access to PostgreSQL, it's a little bit faster as well. In real time, it's much not much, but at least 10 to 15% faster than Supabase. All right, cost is pretty much the same. It depends on where you're hosting it and how much you're using it. If you use more on the Supabase side, it may cost you a lot of money. On the other hand, if it is a self-managed platform, just like using your own laptop, you can use it as much as possible because you have paid it for one time, but you manage the entire thing, right? Control, you have complete control over Postgres. You can change whatever you want. You can tweak the parameters to your heart's content. However, Supabase, it's a managed environment. You do have some flexibility, but the patches, the security, everything is managed by somebody else. So how do they work with n8n workflows? Let's find out. Postgres, because it's a direct connection using drivers, it's faster, right? You can write raw SQL queries. You can execute the stored positions and functions. It can also execute the triggers and all. So there is a lot of functionality and flexibility that you get with Postgres on n8n using with Postgres. With Supabase, you can connect to the Supabase database using REST API endpoints and API keys. With Postgres, you have to connect with username and password. That with Supabase, you don't get that. You have to use an API key, and that's how all the modern platforms integrate with each other, like using OpenAI's API keys. That's what we use. Apify authentication, that is also with API keys. That's how modern platform works, and Supabase is one of that. But on top of that, you also get row level security in Supabase, which is not there in Postgres. We have already discussed that. Performance trade-offs, because you get direct access to Postgres, it's super fast, at least faster than Supabase, and with API there is always a trade-off, right? So Supabase is going to be a little bit slower. However, you get more bells and whistles. You get auth, you get API endpoints. So for performance, even the Postgres wins. For convenience, Supabase wins. So when to choose what? Now that you know the differences, it must be very clear for you to decide what database or what type of database will you choose, and they're definitely not the same databases, even though a lot of people tend to say or use it interchangeably. So choose Postgres when you want maximum performance, like faster queries, faster execution, faster DML operations. All right. It's literally instantaneous or sub-millisecond response times, right? Advanced features which you may or may not have at Supabase. Complete control on your database, patching, scaling, auto-scaling, reliability. Most of the enterprises will need this. That's why they are using Postgres. But these days you can install Supabase also locally. That thing is going away, but still you still get direct control over your database. And cost optimization, because you control everything that you have a lot of control over the cost, and you can optimize the cost accordingly. When to use Supabase? A lot of reasons to use Supabase, and that's why Supabase is so popular, because rapid prototyping. You want to connect bold, lovable, you want to connect any of your apps made in AI Studio or React apps, JS apps. All of these can directly connect or an API call to Supabase. That's why shipping becomes much faster, right? Second thing is auth is built in. Auth means if you want user authentication for your application, it is built in right in Supabase, and you can start using it, or else with Postgres you'll have to develop it yourself. Can be done, but you need more expertise. Here, even with limited database expertise, you can do that. And real-time features like dashboards, chat features, all of these are there in Supabase, which are not there in Postgres. Next, what are the common mistakes to avoid? First, you understood why to use which database. Now let's understand why not to use which database, if that makes sense. One of the misconceptions or common mistakes around a Supabase is just hosted PostgreSQL. However, it is not. Supabase is an entire platform. It has, even though it is built on Postgres, as we've seen, it has auth, it has APIs, it has edge function, it has dashboards, a lot of things. Second common misconception: you can use them interchangeably in n8n workflows. No. Why? Because you need a direct node, which is a Postgres node in n8n. However, you connect over HTTP requests or API calls in Postgres. Different, you cannot just swap them out. Supabase is always better because it's managed. Completely not true. Why? Because managed doesn't mean better, because even though managed is easier, it's not better, because there will be a lot of compliance requirements. There will be times when you'll require faster performance. You'll have specific requirements that, okay, it needs to be in a certain server, which has to be closer to your app server, and things like that. So again, it's not always better. So what to do? Choose based on your specific needs, right? Both are amazing tools. Postgres, more control. Supabase, ease of use. Depending on your budget, time to market, if you want more control or not, do you want auth or not, do you want dashboards, all of these decisions go into which database you want to use. Let's take a quick look at some numbers. This is cost and performance. If you see the cost for small projects, Postgres is a little bit more expensive, because if you're not paying with money, you're paying with your time, because it takes time to set up, install, do all the mumbo jumbo. But with Supabase, you can just take a free account and start working with it. If the apps are growing, then obviously they will start. You'll need to scale your own managed services, self-managed services, which is Postgres, and it will start to cost you more money. In production, once it productionalizes, the costs are almost the same, because once you have set it up, you're paying basically, the cost should go down. Yeah. So if you say high scale, the more you use Postgres will cost you less because it's your own environment. But others are charging you based on the number of rows, records, tables, and stuff like that. Number of API calls, and the cost will explode, on bigger numbers. Execution, of course, we have seen it's faster. How much faster? Data says 15%. I think it's faster based on where you're connecting to Supabase versus Postgres. And development type, of course, Supabase is much faster because you don't have to worry about auth. I'm myself using Supabase for one of the projects or few of the projects. We have auth in there, we have HTTP requests, so we do use it. But I do use what you say, I do use Postgres for some of the reasons, like for memory and stuff. And fast time to market, of course, because it's a managed service. You just create an account and you just get started with it. So Supabase time to market is much faster. Next steps, hands-on learning. We are going to continue with our series. Not only we're going to install Postgres, we already have Postgres installed locally. We're going to use that. We also are going to install Supabase locally and on cloud. We're going to create RAG agents on both using n8n, and then we'll do side-by-side comparison so that you have complete picture on what to use, when to use, and what are the differences between all of them. So with that said, I really hope it eliminates the confusion between both the databases. They are not the same, even though Supabase is built on top of Postgres. And I really hope you must have learned something out of this. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, usual stuff, and stay tuned for the next video, which will be coming within a day or two, maybe by the weekend, where we will start installing Postgres and start using that as our RAG engine. All right, so stay tuned.